We have an absolutely amazing lineup. Your first comic is based in Baltimore. She was actually elected fourth grade class president. Her name is Lauren Weiss. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm Lauren. Yeah. Let's just enjoy it. Thank you. Oh man, I jumped the gun. It's only going to get better from here, you guys, because how could it get any worse? So do any of you like being hot and sticky? Let's hear it for hot and sticky, people. Yeah? Okay, who else likes being soaking wet? Nobody? Okay, you guys did not have a good day today because those were your two options. It's great to be here. I love a good lady show. I love being a woman in general. I love bras. You know, I know they're like harnesses put on us by the patriarchy, but there is nothing like the feeling of walking out in public knowing that you are wearing a very cute bra and no one else knows about it. It's a very sneaky feeling that I would maybe liken to the feeling that a man gets when he finally gets his concealed carry license and can carry a gun on his person. Like, lock and load, bitches. But anyway, I don't need a license for these, which is cool. Another thing I love about being a woman is I love flushing tampons down the toilet. Have I clogged the toilet this way? Of course. Of course I've clogged the toilet. But the thing is, if God didn't want me to flush tampons, he wouldn't have made them flush without issue 80% of the time. Because, like, I'll take those odds. Thank you. Good odds. Gotta take them. So, I hear that introverts get their energy from alone time, and extroverts get their energy from social interaction. And I just don't know where this puts me, because I get my energy from food and lots of it. But that's just me, people. I know you want to learn more about me. I'm lactose intolerant. I bet you guys have never heard that before, and you probably want to know a lot more about my lactose intolerance. Well, I'll give you more. My otherwise perfect body cannot digest milk. It just can't. So I've been looking at milk substitutes. I tried almond milk. I was drinking almond milk for a while, but then I read this article about almond production. Turns out each almond requires a gallon of water to produce it. And so I cut out the middleman. And now I eat my cereal with 100 gallons of water. Is it soggy? Yeah, it's really soggy. But like, that's not the point. It's really the principle of the thing, and I'm a very principled person. Thanks. And I'm even principled when I do unethical things, like eating foie gras. So foie gras, it's goose liver. It's made by putting a tube down a goose's throat and then force-feeding it corn. And it's, of course, not humane. So it's kind of a moral dilemma, but happily I have solved this moral dilemma so that I can continue to eat foie gras. So when I eat foie gras, I eat it until I'm full. I eat it until I'm like really, really full. And then I get my friend to stick a tube down my throat to keep feeding me foie gras. And all this is in solidarity with the geese so that I can eat it with a clean conscience. And I thought, this is going great. I'm eating all the foie gras I want. Great. Then she ate my liver. But I guess that's what I get. Did you ever notice that in school there were always a lot of kids who are allergic to peanuts? But then in the adult world, there's like no one who's allergic to peanuts. So it's like, were those kids lying? Were they just trying to get attention? Or did they literally die off? Whew. Either way, I don't want to know the answer because it's just sad either way. Yeah. I sometimes get this feeling that I might be not a good person. I don't know what the word for that is. Bad? Maybe it's bad. Like, I go to this gym class. It's called Yoga Sculpt, as if my body is a sculpture when it's really more of a wet stew. So I'm at Yoga Sculpt, and then it's pretty difficult. We're going through the moves, upward dog, downward dog, the dogs. And then this one woman was like, oh, I think I'm going to pass out. I'm not feeling well at all. And instead of being like, oh no, I hope she's okay, I was like, yes, this must be a great workout. I am turning this stew into a snack. Still a stew, and she was fine. Don't worry about her, she was fine. But yeah, I like going to workout classes. It's better than like working out on my own, because for me, the perfect workout has 2 key ingredients: fear and peer pressure. And so you bring those 2 things together in one room, and yeah, I'm gonna work out. And nothing gets my heart rate up like trying to hide my lack of participation from the instructor. We'll be doing push-ups. Instructor turns around. My time to shine. I stop pushing up. I lay on the ground, a little like a possum playing dead. And I stay there, relaxing, until she turns around. Oh my God, back into it. And then I'm pushing up. It's like I've been pushing up. And that's how I get my thrills on at workout class. So I'm actually pretty fit. Okay, but my phone would say otherwise. My Bixby, my virtual assistant from Samsung, thinks that I'm slow. And she's supposed to detect my motions, my comings, my goings, my phone calls to the Chinese government, my plans to steal the Declaration of Independence one of these days. And yet she can't really detect my motions, because sometimes I'll go for a 20-minute run and then Bixby comes back and is like, 20 minutes of walking recorded. What? I was running. If it had been a race walk, I would have been immediately DQ'd because 2 feet off the ground, It was technically a run. And who is she to judge my running? Because she is a sedentary sack of circuitry, hasn't run a mile in her life. She just hitches a ride in my pocket constantly. And so for her to have the audacity to judge me and to be so forward about judging me is just, it's unbelievable. And anyway, compared to other robot assistants, I think Bixby is pretty much the worst. Because all the good robots are shiny and walk around, like C-3PO or the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. And even if you just compare her to other virtual assistants, she is still bottom of the barrel. She's terrible. If the virtual assistants were in high school together, here's how I think it would go. So I think Siri would be like the cool, popular girl. She's kind of mean, but she throws cool parties at her parents' house. And her parents' house is really cool because her dad is Steve Jobs, R.I.P. And then you've got Google Assistant, who wears a suit to school for some reason and just has a coke habit. And then you've got Alexa. She's a sexy librarian by day, DJ by night. And then you've got Bixby, who is just an asshole. And that's why I hate Bixby. Speaking of assholes, I used to date a rich guy. And I say rich guy, but I should really say guy from a rich family, because that wasn't his money. It was his parents' money. So I was dating a rich guy, and it was mostly fine, but sometimes it would be really, really awkward. When we go to a museum and he'd be looking to buy, babe, I'm just here to look at the art, not to drop $15 million on a Monet. And babe, stop throwing coins at people. I know they're silver dollars. They still hurt when they hit. It's just not nice. Yeah. So I live in Baltimore. I do a lot of street parking. And I don't really get stage fright for doing stand-up comedy, but I get a lot of stage fright for parallel parking. If somebody is watching me parallel park, my heart just drops into my stomach, I swear. And yeah, last week, I was trying to get into this tight little spot. It was taking attempts, more than one attempt, already embarrassing. And this woman in a Ford Expedition comes up right next to me, but does not pass me. She stops just short of the back of the spot. And then I'm like, go ahead, go ahead. She's like, no, do your thing. I'm like, no, this is not what I want. So it took me a few more tries. In total, I think it was only about 2 minutes, but I swear it felt like 2 hours. But eventually got into the spot. And then when I was done, she pulled up and she was like, that was super entertaining. Like, where else do you perform around here? And I was like, oh, I go to a bunch of little spots around here, and I'm usually performing after work if you want to come see. Yeah, so that joke, just to explain the joke, it's like I'm talking about stand-up, but I'm talking about parking the car. So now you get it, right? Nice. Yeah. So it may not sound like it, but I did have sex recently. Yeah? Thank you. Okay. So sex with me is like an Uber because I prefer if you come immediately. Don't make me wait 6 minutes. I'll just be staring at my phone, waiting for you to come. So I have another version of that joke. It's sex with me is like a lift. It's the same joke. It just depends who's giving me 30% off rides. Yeah. We live in a divided country, folks. We've got Lyft and Uber. We've got the country and the city. We've got Kendall and Kylie. We've got half of the country out here thinking that 11 almonds and some kale is a meal. And we've got the other half of the country thinking that if you add mayonnaise to something, it becomes salad. Potato plus mayonnaise, a potato salad. Coleslaw. What's up with that? Cabbage plus mayonnaise, that's coleslaw. And I assume that in the old country, that means salad. And then you've got tuna, mayonnaise, tuna salad. And then you've got French fries and mayonnaise. And that's just plain delicious. And that is something that I think all Americans can and should agree on. If I'm hearing you, I'd like to say, I disagree. So one more thing that I think Americans should agree on is the cultural importance of the Twilight Saga. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know about the Twilight Saga, it's a series of books and films about this teenage girl named Bella who falls in love with a vampire named Edward. He's hot. And Bella waits until she's married to Edward before they have sex. And so the author, Stephanie Meyer, she's a Mormon, and I think she was trying to put forward a message of like abstinence until marriage. But I took this a different way, and this probably happened to a lot of other girls my age. I thought she meant no sex until you're married to a vampire. This is, of course, incredibly difficult. So I'm in high school, I'm out there scoping for dick, and I'm trying to find a vampire to bang so I can finally cash in my V card. And all the vampires are in relationships already. I can't get myself a vampire, and I just wanted to get laid. So you know what? I gave up. I broke all the rules, and I fucked a werewolf. All right, I've been Lauren Weiss. Thank you very much.
Lauren, I'm so sorry to find out like this. I'm allergic to peanuts, and I made it into adulthood.